Well, we ran out of money when we got to the 5th bunch, so everyone else is just like a clap, alright. So we'd like to say thank you to my nonna from Jamaica, wherever she is. There she is. She flew all the way from Jamaica just to come down to see us, so we can't get better than that, can we? And as Dad mentioned to Pauline and Brian, as everyone can tell, the food's beautiful. It tastes lovely, so it's a big round of applause to them once again. Right, and finally I'd like to say thank you to Kirsta for marrying me. I don't think no one else would have caught up with the job, so so I've done alright, I think. I must say Kirsty looks beautiful tonight. You know, without this special day, we would never have been without you, Kirsty, so can I say thank you to yourself as well. So that's about enough from me. What I'd like to just like to thank everyone for coming for tonight, for today, and hopefully continue the night with a good party later on as well. So this gives me a great opportunity and pleasure to pass you over to my best man, Umla. And don't believe a word he says.
Check, check. Bon, bon. Here's a few lines I've prepared on this big sheet of paper. Like my friend James, I'd just like to keep this short and sweet. Wish James and Kirsty all the love and happiness a couple can possibly have. Thank you. Righto, here we are. Firstly, I'd like to introduce myself, James's best man. Those who don't know me, where have you been? My name's Amit, aka Umla, aka Dogs, aka 100 other names. I'm not sure if this is a correct structure. If it's wrong, blame Google. I thought I was feeling lucky at the time. I'm going to firstly thank the bridesmaid Emma, as I think she's done a wonderful job today, and she looks fantastic. Outshone only by Kirsty herself, obviously. I think you should all agree that she looks prettier than a flower show today. And James, well, he looks like Harry Hill. Also to our two ushers, Chris and George, thanks for looking smart and turning up sober, lads. And I'd like to thank Kirsty's mother and father Pete and Jane for allowing James to marry their daughter, as people were beginning to think that me and James were a couple. Well, this is unusual for me. Here I am with a room full of people, waiting to listen to every word, and for once I can't think of anything to say. I wish James was a bit more interested. You guys might not know this, but as a kid, James was a bit of a loner. He tended to think of himself as a one-man wolf pack. But in the early 90s, when I met James in the Manor House playing fields, I knew he was one of my own. And his wolf pack, it grew by one. So there were two of us in the wolf pack. James was alone at first in the pack, and then I joined in later. Then over 10 years went by, and the wolves from all around the area joined our pack. Almost all are sitting here today. That was our wolf whistle, by the way. I may as well use this time to give a big thank you to our keepers, Andrew and Sandra, as their home was a wolf pack resting ground during hibernation for many years. In our two-man wolf pack days, I remember the time when James knocked on for me and said, "I've been watching a cooking program. Let's make some toffee," he says. I thought, I have no idea, but James says it's easy. All we have to do is boil this tin of evaporated milk in a saucepan. We was there for 10 minutes, stood watching this tin boil. The toffee has got to be ready by now, I said. Let's open it, see what's inside. As he was opening the lid, hot milk poured out. James says, "I don't think it's ready yet." Al says, "Yeah, it's not exactly Thornton's, is it?" I'm not sure what cooking program James was watching, but he ain't entering MasterChef this year. James and I shared all our sporting activities together. He wasn't the fastest man on the tracks, but I can honestly say he tried his best. We started off playing football. James was obviously a goalkeeper. Riley Fields, #1. I will always remember his goalie gloves. Well, we had the same pair throughout the year, so I can't forget them. So you can understand why people didn't want to wear them. In fact, I'd rather stick my hand in horse manure. Then we took up golf with our famous 7-iron golf clubs. But this only lasted a couple of seasons as James was spending more time in the sun than David Hasselhoff. After that, we thought we'd take up snooker. But this was a bad idea as James is colourblind and he kept on using the cue ball as a yellow. So with his eagle-eye vision, we took up tennis. And on the courts, he reminds me of a blonde Andre Agassi. As James thinks the ball is always in when it's clearly out. Always made me wonder, why didn't he go to Specsavers? I can remember James's first vehicle. It was epic. It was a 1984 white Honda Fairlady moped with matching helmet. Similar to the one used in Dumb and Dumber. Probably the reason why he pulled up to me and said, "Hey, I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hard. Still want to go to McDonald's?" I was like, hell yeah. This moped is a beast. He's gone from Lloyd Christmas on a scooter to a poor racer in a Ford Focus. Although he drives his cars like a Kirby and West milk float. James has never been arrested either. Pretty shocking really, as he got more green herbs than Jamie Oliver. Many of you will be aware that James and Kirsty are buying a new home together. This house does require a bit of DIY work. Anyhow, anyone knows James that he's not a DIY king, although he thinks he is by watching the New York Yankee Workshop on Discovery Channel. However, in order to get this house looking good, he assured me there'll be a lot of banging and screwing going on. Reminded me of the time when I was sitting with his dad Andrew and he said to me, "It's like flipping in Africa in here with them two rhinos at it upstairs." James has been a changed man since he met Kirsta, not coming out raving so often so he can spend more time with her, and nowadays he has the largest smile on his face, one that they both have and I think they'll keep for the rest of their lives. It would be impossible for me to summarise the 20 odd years that I've known James, but I'm going to try anyway. James smokes a lot of wacky backy and plays PlayStation. I would also like to take this time to also say that he's been the best anyone could hope for in a friend. I know that he will maintain these high standards as a loving father and now husband. You only have to look at Kirsty and Amelia to realise how lucky James is, and I'm sure having these 3 beautiful girls in his life will bring him much happiness. Consider me your shadow, James, never far away, even when I miss your calls. For me, you are a living legend, my friend, my family. And now I have the honour of sharing the top table with you as I stand as your best man, and for that, thanks mate. That leads me on nicely onto the cards from friends and family that couldn't make it here today. To James, we are thrilled that you found that, oh, what's he say? James, we are thrilled that you found a beautiful wife. Blessings from all staff at howtobeaman.com. Good one. To James and Kirsta, hope you had a great day. I am over the moon for you both. Neil Armstrong. To J and K. I wish you all the guys the best on your special day. You are my #1 fans, Will Young. But on a serious note now, a massive thank you to everyone who has contributed and made James and Kirsty's day so wonderful. Still will be wonderful as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please could you stand and raise your glasses. Raise your glasses and join me in a special toast to James and Kirsty, the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Barton. Thank you. If you thought the speech was big, round of applause.
Big round for Amit. What an entertaining speech that was. Now don't forget the guest book's still at the front here. For those who haven't signed it, please make an effort to sign it. It's going to be something for these kids to look back on in the future. They both made me very proud today and it's been a nice day.